Struggling nurse donates blood to an emergency patient, only to learn he's a CEO's single dad who comes back with a life-changing proposal. The night had been long, the kind of shift that stretched the limits of both body and soul. Sarah Mitchell, a nurse in the busy ER, leaned against the cold wall of the hospital hallway for a moment, closing her eyes. Her feet ached, her stomach growled, she had skipped her break again, and her paycheck was already gone to bills that seemed to multiply faster than she could count. Yet, despite the exhaustion, she stood ready for the next call, because that's what she did, she showed up. It was past midnight when the double doors burst open. A man, unconscious and pale, was rushed in by paramedics. "Severe blood loss, car accident," one of them shouted. The ER instantly lit up with urgency, doctors and nurses swarming the gurney. Sarah moved instinctively, adjusting 4 lines, checking vitals, keeping her voice steady in the storm of panic. Then came the problem. His blood type was rare, AB negative. The hospital supply had run out. The man's chances were slipping by the second. The doctor's voice cut through the chaos, "We need a matching donor immediately, or we lose him." Sarah froze. She knew her type. She matched. Without hesitation, she stepped forward. "I'll do it. Test me now." Minutes later, she was in the donor chair, her arm hooked to the tube. Her heart raced, not from fear, but from urgency. The man lying in the trauma room was a stranger, and yet she felt connected to him through this fragile, life-saving line of blood. She whispered a silent prayer, willing him to live. Hours passed before she learned the patient had stabilized. Exhausted but relieved, Sarah signed her final charts and walked out into the cool dawn. To her, it was just another night, another chance to help someone live. She didn't know his name, nor did she expect to ever see him again. But fate had a different plan. 2 weeks later, Sarah was called to the hospital lobby. Waiting for her was a tall man with kind, searching eyes. He looked healthier now, though faint scars marked his forehead. Beside him stood a little girl with curly hair clutching his hand. The man stepped forward. "Are you Nurse Mitchell?" She nodded, slightly uneasy. "I'm Daniel Hayes," he said softly. "You saved my life." Recognition hit her, he was the patient. She blushed. "I was just doing my job." "No," he said firmly, his voice thick with emotion. "You gave me your blood. Without you, I wouldn't be standing here. My daughter," he glanced down at the child, who was watching Sarah with wide, innocent eyes. "She wouldn't have a father." The little girl tugged Sarah's hand and whispered, "Thank you for saving my daddy." The purity of her words broke something inside Sarah, and tears welled up. Daniel cleared his throat. "I didn't get the chance to tell you before, but I'm the CEO of Hayes Industries. I've spent years building an empire, chasing numbers and deals. But lying in that hospital bed, I realized how close I came to losing it all. And it wasn't the company I thought about, it was her. My daughter. My family." Sarah listened quietly, unsure why he was telling her this. He continued, his eyes locked on hers. "I also realized something else. True wealth isn't what's in a bank account, it's people like you. People who give when they have little. People who put strangers first." Her cheeks warmed, and she shook her head. "I don't think of myself as special. I'm just a nurse trying to make ends meet. That's exactly why I'm here." His voice deepened with conviction. "I know life hasn't been easy for you. I asked around carefully, I know you've been working double shifts, struggling to care for your younger brother since your parents passed. You've been carrying too much on your own." Sarah's eyes widened. She hadn't expected her private struggles to be known, let alone by a man like him. Daniel took a breath. "I can't repay what you've done for me, not fully. But I want to try. I want to offer you a position in my company's medical foundation, better pay, flexible hours, full support for your brother's education." It's not charity. It's an investment in someone whose heart is too rare to go unnoticed. Sarah's lips parted in shock. A swirl of emotions, gratitude, disbelief, humility, flooded her. I don't know what to say. Say yes, the little girl piped in with a shy smile. Please. In that moment, Sarah felt the weight she had carried for years lift, replaced by something she hadn't felt in a long time, hope. She saw in Daniel not just a wealthy man, but a father who understood loss, who valued compassion over profit. Finally, with tears streaming down her cheeks, she whispered, yes. Daniel smiled, his daughter hugging Sarah's leg as if she had been waiting her whole life to know her. And in that hospital lobby, a bond was sealed, not of blood alone, but of humanity, kindness, and second chances. Because sometimes the smallest acts of giving ripple into life-changing miracles. Sarah had stepped forward that night with nothing to gain. In return, she was given more than she ever dreamed, a future of hope, family, and the reminder that love often finds us when we least expect it.